In the mid-19th century, the study of human origins was a marginal and dangerous pursuit. To investigate the natural history of man was to invite the deep suspicion of established religious and political institutions. This era was defined by a rigid theological worldview. History was confined to a literal scriptural timeline that left no space for geological ages. This text captures the exact orthodoxy of the period, citing Dr. Lightfoot's conclusion at Cambridge that man was created at precisely 9 o'clock in the morning on October 23, 4004 BC. Governments reinforced this religious pushback. When researchers attempted to found a Parisian anthropological society in 1846, the French government intervened to suppress the effort entirely. By the early 20th century, this hostility had vanished. Anthropology had been brought into the fold, operating as a formalized, state-funded science within Britain's most prestigious universities. The depth of this integration is visible in this 1913 Royal Commission report, which identifies ethnology as a necessary adjunct for colonial officials stationed throughout the empire. The transition from suppressed heresy to subsidized science was driven by the practical administrative requirements of the British Empire. In its earliest stages, the study of mankind was a chaotic jumble. It lacked clear boundaries, mixing natural history, biology, and the collection of historical antiquities into a single, unorganized mass. Before the state could utilize this knowledge for governance, the discipline had to be structured. It needed measurable definitions and strict categorization. Anthropology emerged as the overarching term for this new structure, encompassing the study of mankind as a whole, from physical biology to social organization. Within this framework, ethnography served as the empirical baseline. This was the gathering of raw facts, documenting the specific habits, tools, and languages of individual tribes and nations. Ethnology provided the theoretical interpretation. It took those ethnographic facts and compared them to track the broader development of human culture. This separation allowed the British Empire to take the chaotic reality of human interaction and process it into structured, actionable data for statecraft. The University of London's Board of Studies codified this order, creating a definitive classification system that compartmentalized every aspect of human existence. This framework divided the science into two distinct pillars: physical anthropology and cultural anthropology. Physical anthropology was tasked with defining man's place in nature through the study of anatomy and physiological traits. Cultural anthropology, or ethnology, focused on the social phenomena and organizational structures of human groups. Its archaeological branch mapped the deep past through artifacts, while the linguistic branch tracked the evolution of human speech. The sociological node categorized the rules of daily life, including marriage systems, forms of government, and moral codes. Finally, the technological branch allowed for the comparative study of arts and industries, measuring a society's material development. By breaking culture down into these quantifiable nodes, the Board of Studies provided imperial administrators with a tool to measure and rank conquered populations. Academics in the early 20th century viewed traditional societies as living fossils. They were seen as a window into the prehistoric state of all mankind. But this scientific window was closing as industrial modernization expanded across the globe. The arrival of railways, telegraphs, and motor cars into remote regions introduced industrial connectivity that rapidly replaced traditional customs and materials. This created an urgent mandate for salvage ethnography, the push to collect every possible data point before these cultures were altered by the modern world. We see the results of this documentation here, in a study capturing a hill Arrayan man using a friction drill to produce fire. This was treated as a critical piece of data, preserving a primitive technology that researchers believed would soon disappear. Investigators were urged to preserve everything, from photographs and anatomical specimens to physical models and skeletons. The effort to save history provided the intellectual justification to survey and catalog indigenous subjects before they assimilated into the modern empire. These theoretical frameworks found their most significant application in India, the British Empire's most complex administrative challenge. From administrative centers like Simla, the British governed a diversity of populations stretching from the northwest provinces to the southern tip of the subcontinent. To manage this diversity, Lord Curzon's government launched a massive ethnographic survey to systematically map the customs and castes of the Indian population. This was the large-scale application of ethnography, the rigorous, descriptive gathering of facts for the purpose of state administration. This data collection reached its peak integration with state power during the 1901 Census of India. Under the direction of Sir Herbert Risley, the census incorporated an anthropometric branch, leading to the publication of the Tribes and Castes volumes. This initiative fused physical measurements with demographic counting, permanently sorting the population into official imperial categories. Under Curzon and Risley, the census became a weaponized ethnographic tool, transforming millions of individuals into categorized imperial data. The government of India heavily subsidized this work for a pragmatic reason. Effective colonial management in India required a highly trustworthy record of the society's internal rules, hierarchies, and customs. The 1913 Royal Commission warned that if officials remained ignorant of these racial and cultural characteristics, the friction of administration would become unmanageable. The resulting archives and ethnographic museums are filled with the spoils of these surveys, a physical manifestation of the knowledge gathered to serve the state. Early modern anthropology provided the administrative blueprints required to map, divide, and manage the British Empire.